then the third influence we can see, you can tell me what's this circle around the head of Jesus and around the head of Virgin Mary and around the head of every single saint we have? Hello? This is what you think, but I have a different theory. Actually, light should be presented that way, like the transfiguration of Jesus. Why they presented the light in the transfiguration that way, like rays coming out of the body, and anywhere else represented as a circle? Let's get back to the main point that the early Christians, they had culture of ancient Egyptians, and in the ancient Egyptian art there is nothing called light coming out of the body of someone, so they did not have this concept to present the light coming out of the body of someone. But the ancient Egyptian concept is to make a mark on the heads of those good people to the god, or the favorite people to the god, or the favorite figures to the god with a circle. So any figure good to the god, any figure preferred or beloved by the god, it should be rewarded by a circle above his head, which during the early Christian time started to be around the head. And that's why we can see those figures like Hathor and like Sekhmet and like Thoth and like many other figures in the ancient Egyptian time rewarded by Ra above their heads. And then at the beginning of the Christian time, they want to reward those good saints as well, and the only thing to make difference or to reward them on the scene is to make a circle above their heads or around their head. So this circle in the culture of the Egyptians, that means those people are holy, those people are remarkable, those people that are different, those people are special. In Luxor temple, they converted this hall into a church, and they made a very beautiful fresco all around the place for the Last Supper of Jesus. And we can see the Roman approaching from one side. We can see the reddish color for the legs of the horses, slightly clear there, and also in the corner we can see the Roman soldiers approaching to the place where Jesus is, and we can see the faces very clear with the Roman costumes. And in the middle we can see Jesus and the disciples around him, and in the top we can see the circle. This time they did not present the circle around the head as usual, but at the beginning of Christianity they were making the circle above the head as usual, as they know from the ancient Egyptian culture. The circle is to reward or to mark the beloved people of the God. So in here it's very clear the circle is above the head, is not around the head. Come to the third point, which is this symbol Jesus is making in all the paintings and all the icons. This is actually a pure ancient Egyptian symbol. We can see the church from the 3rd century on the top of the mountain on the western side of Aswan, showing Jesus doing this symbol. So this symbol then is very old symbol from the beginning of Christianity. And also we can see how all the enemies of Egypt, they are doing the same symbol when they are going to be smashed by the hands of the pharaohs. You can see the very same symbol is made by the hands of this Nubian asking for mercy from Ramesses II, and this Asian asking for mercy from Thutmose III, and this one as well, which making a symbol of mercy. They are asking for mercy, and in the case of Jesus, he is not asking for mercy, but he is the one came with mercy. So he is telling the message that I came with mercy. Alright, before finishing this point, could you please subscribe and hit the like button to receive the new videos from our channel, and stay tuned. So even the language, the Coptics, they were using what we call the Coptic language, which is mixture between the ancient Egyptian language and the Greek letters. So they were speaking the ancient Egyptian language and writing it with Greek letters, which is called the Coptic language. Till nowadays, actually, in the Coptic churches, when you are attending a service, you'll find a service with the Coptic language, which sounds to me like an ancient Egyptian language. So thanks to the Coptics for keeping this ancient Egyptian language safe till nowadays, and since then we can pronounce it. Come to the last point, which is the cross. Why the crosses are different? Since the crosses are different from each other, that means they got different meanings. The cross we have nowadays represents the crucifixion of Jesus, but at the beginning of Christianity in Egypt, they had the crosses for different meanings. Like this cross, the Coptic cross. The Coptic cross, in my theory, is delivered from a symbol in the ancient Egyptian language called Niyut, which refers to a village or a small community. So they were referring to the Christian community with this symbol. The second cross, this one here, which is mixture between the cross and the symbol of eternity in the ancient Egyptian time, which is Ankh sign. There is a lot of talking about this symbol. We will have a talk later in another video, and this symbol represents life in lifetime and life in the afterlife as well. And we can see how they want to mix between the idea of eternity and everlasting with Christianity. And this cross refers to another ancient Egyptian word, which is emet, which means who is in, to describe someone inside. This describes those Christians inside the community. And sometimes they mix it with the Ankh sign once again, and they used to do alpha in one side and omega in the other side, which is beginning and end. And in the Ankh sign, when we talk about it later, we will understand how the Ankh sign representing the beginning of creation and end of creation, or the eternity in the afterlife. So it represents everything. That's why they use the same two symbols, beginning and end, or alpha and omega. So from all of that, we'll understand how the early Christians, they were fighting within themselves between the old beliefs and the new beliefs. And to stop this fight, they had to face those figures they were believing in for hundreds of years by their own hands. So this was a strong challenge for the Egyptians at the beginning of Christianity. But this shows us how the Christians are very strong believers as well. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, please subscribe and hit the like button, which is down there, and stay with us. Thank you.